Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are back on the Kassel to Wurzburg route in the Expert timetable in the Expert DBBR 101 by Train Sim Germany. Currently, the only study level train in the game. And as you can see, it is very, very foggy with the live weather. Anyway, since the Expert BR145 by Train Sim Germany is releasing on March 13th, I figured might as well take the old girl out, i.e. the 101, and do a run from here at Kassel Wilhelmshohe down to Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof. So let's get started here. Gather around how to set this up. It's been a bit. Also, because it reset my achievements, it's going to pop up everything. Fault simulation disabled, reset internal faults, change contrast. Let's actually keep the direct brake on for now so we don't roll. Let's actually get the electric train supply on. There we go, and unlock the doors. Cab lights on, headlights on. Oh, and I need to change this so it does headlights. I forgot how long the train is, so I'm going to have to punch that into the computer. Change the contrast on new. Oh, I should do ZD, ZN. Our number today is... We're running two separate services at the same time. Intercity 283 Hamburg Altona to Berchtesgaden Hauptbahnhof and Intercity 2085 Hamburg Altona to Oberstdorf. So I'll just go with 283 since that's the first one. 0, 8, and 3. Punch that in. And then I think I hit 1. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Window heating. Forgot that was a thing, so now my window's fogging up. Lovely. Okay, it's registering. Oh, I need to actually sit down. I forgot how long our train is. 310 meters approximately, so 9, 18, 3, 0, 3, 1, 2, 0, bam. Send that off to the computer. The train beeps, indicating we are in Elzeby. We'll actually be in Elzeby all the way down to just before Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof, so the train will be controlling its own speed automatically, which is a very nice feature. And also, if you don't remember, machine room on. Oh wow, there's fog in the train. That is a TSW thing. Look at this! All the circuit breakers animated. Oh, we'll talk more about the BR145 once we get on the go here, but yeah. With 20 seconds to go, I'll shut the doors. Is that the horn switch? Yeah. So shut the door. There we go. The keyboard shortcuts can be annoying sometimes, so. Oh. Did I forget to do you properly? Yeah, I did. Uh-oh. Zoom number 2083 and enter again. Oh, I hit the 5 key. There we go. Okay. Bit of a brain fart there. Forgot to register. Okay, so to overcome the brake at the start, we do need to go full beans from the get-go. Next up, Fulda in 86 kilometers. It's been a bit since I've been in the Expert 101. Oh my goodness, it's so... The fog is so dense. Hopefully, since this route is so long, I hope the fog does clear up. I'm using mods today. You can find a full list of mods linked in the description down below in the collection that I've got. And I'm also using the live weather mod, which is why it's so incredibly foggy. Our top speed we will be reaching our top speed of 200 kilometers an hour today. But that is not the maximum line speed that we could be going at. The maximum line speed is 280. No, it's pretty uninteresting right now with all the fog, but we'll see if it improves as we get further down the route. Just make sure I've got everything going properly. This expert timetable is actually a separate add-on. You have to get on top of the 101 that adds some very cool scenarios, including evacuating another train, diverting around engineering works, and stuff like that. Now, I can highly recommend if you already have the 101, and plus this timetable has a lot of very nice stuff. Alright, we do have green signals, but we don't care because we're in Elsa B and the train's doing that for us. Yay! Maximum speed, please. If you're wondering what version of the 101, we're in today, we are in just the normal version, because on top of the normal version there's also the MFD one, which has a modded digital display and no analog computer, an intercity one, which is just the normal one with an intercity paint job, and then the Einzigandes one, which is a Pride livery, which is just the normal one with a Pride livery. So yeah, the Expert 145 by Trains of Germany is coming out on March 13th, well 14th for me, because it'll be in the, oh wow, okay, let's actually reduce the throttle a bit, because yeah, we are wheel spinning quite a bit. Oh wow, this is way too bright. Let's see if we can get the brightness down a bit. There we go. So yeah, the Expert 145 is coming out on March 13th. It'll be the price of a normal route because, yeah, I know a lot of people will balk at having a route that's locomotive that's the cost of a standard route, but in my opinion, and this is my opinion of course, I believe it is totally worth it because it is study level, and yeah, Trains of Germany put a lot of work into these, and yeah, the 145 will come within, as far as I believe, will come with a expert timetable for Leipzig to Dresden, which is the core German route for Trains of World 6, and it will also come with it will also come with multiple substitutions. So if you're aware how German freight locomotives substitute, like one German freight locomotive can basically substitute for any other German freight locomotive on any other route, on any other service, and that is exactly what is going to happen with the 145. So not only will we be able to drive it on Leipzig-Dresden, but we'll also be able to drive it on any other freight service on any other route, any other German route, I should say, that's electrified, that's modern and electrified, which is very cool. And on top of that, what is it? I'm trying to remember. Oh wow, okay. He does it. Whoa! Yeah, it's a bit annoying to try to get this thing to work sometimes. Let's get the sander on for a bit just to try to get up to speed. So yeah, the 145 will come with 3 different versions. Oh, whoa! Okay. Get the throttle down. Yeah, the wheel slip is... Yeah, as you can see, the wheel slip is going completely bananas. Anyway. It is very foggy. Barely see at all. It's like max of 150 meters of visibility, which is pretty insane. Though we can't see a tunnel ahead, the shadow doesn't seem to be affected by the fog, which is interesting. That's a TSW core bug. Alright, come on. So, also, on top of... Yeah, the 145 will come with, as far as I'm aware, 3 different variants. A bog standard DB Deutsche Bahn version, in traffic red livery, of course, for freight stuff, a blue and white two-tone livery for freight stuff, and then a passenger DB variant that I believe will substitute in for like the BR146, but I don't remember if that's how it actually works. I think that's how it works. Whoa, yeah, see the absurd wheel spin I'm getting? And then even with Sander, it's having trouble. Fog seems to be lifting a bit, that's good. So yeah, the passenger version will have a passenger information screen that will be completely programmable by the player. Like, you can program any destination, any service, any kind of service that you want. There's a 185 on the right. Pretty soon that'll be a 145. Yeah, we're having trouble getting up to speed simply because, yeah, the wheel slip is just appalling. Get that SIFA. Having wet tracks definitely lends that little element of unpredictability. With this POV that we've got, it looks like only the bridge is there and everything else just doesn't exist. That's incredible. Right, 70 kilometers to go. Approaching top speed. We can also open the window if I unlock the window and open it. Yeah, that's quite loud. I'll close that. The Kassel-Wurzburg route is quite a high-speed one, so yeah, it's not that interesting. It's basically like you're in a viaduct or you're in a tunnel, basically. But yeah, it's still a fun route to drive, especially with L's and B. There are going to be some new features included with the 145 that we haven't seen before in Train Sim World. There's going to be proper coupling, like you'll have to manually connect the air hoses and hook everything correctly and screw stuff together. Very cool that they're doing that. Oh, another train. Ice 1. Very cool. Then apparently if you leave the train too long in freezing conditions, the wheels will actually freeze up and you won't be able to get them unstuck. Yay, the fog's gone. That's what I love about the live weather. That's what I love about the live weather. What about this side? Yeah, the Kassel-Wurzburg route definitely has some scenery. Like, the scenery doesn't look as good as if it was some other route, but it is what it is. In other news, next week, coming out on Tuesday, the 10th of March, will be the Liberec to Stara Paka route by Vector Simulations, the first Czech route, which I've watched a preview stream for, and it looks insane. The scenery just looks beyond anything else you've ever seen before. The rolling stock looks amazing. Like, I'm not kidding, it looks absolutely just beyond anything we've ever seen before in this game. Ooh, that looks nice. Let's just get some lower depth of field there. That looks good. I will take that. Thank you. Yeah. And like the rolling stock, the class 843 and 750 stock looks sounds absolutely insane. There's a decent amount of interactivity and real life procedures that you have to use. The scenery is second to none. Like, the scenery is probably the best we've ever had in the game. Like, they've even near Turdinov, the developers have even modeled a castle next to the tracks which the player can go in and walk around. Not like the inside of the castle, mind you, just like the exterior bits, like the courtyard. But still, that's absolutely insane. Just like the level of detail that's gone into the line just looks amazing. Trust me, you'll see it on the channel because, yeah, it just looks amazing. that cloud glitching through the tunnel there. That's been an issue since the route's release, unfortunately. Kilometers to go to Fulda. Do love how the fog is variable after we come out of tunnels. No Sturwagen cab car on the back today, I see. To let the train take the strain, try saying that 5 times fast, and just having to press the CFA pedal every so often while the train controls the speed, the acceleration, what speed you go up to, etc. We had a bit of a late departure from Fulda and we're struggling to maintain speed, so hopefully we can get to Fulda on time. But honestly, if we don't make it in time, that's Deutsche Bahn's fault, not my fault. Their Deutsche Bahn is notorious for being late, so... Oh, look at that countryside. Beautiful. This route is quite nice on the scenery front. It's not, you know, that modern in terms of the scenery, but it still looks absolutely excellent. I think like 50-something, 55 frames per second most of the time. That's decent. Looks as though the clouds are lifting a bit too. Also, I forgot to mention with the BR145, we're also getting the T1300E container wagons complete with DHL, appropriate DHL branding, which is the first time DHL has actually been in the game. So that should be very nice indeed. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 145. I think from the jump it will be my favorite. It will become my new favorite German train in the game. Well, yeah, I know the 101 is amazing, but I think the 145 will just be even better. Like, I'm not kidding, I think it will be even better than this. I do like how the CFA's... Iced tea! Double iced tea! Very nice. I like the exterior model of the iced tea, but yeah, the running sounds are definitely not up to par. Kilometers to go. So yeah, if we have a look at the map, Kassel, Fulda, Wurzburg. We have 19 minutes to do 47 kilometers. Well, remember that's actually 46 kilometers in a straight line, so hopefully we'll be able to make it in time. We'll see. So we've seen an ice 1 and an ice T so far. Hopefully we can see an ice 3, which is the other high-speed train on the line. Who knows, we might even see some other stuff, like, we might even see the BR103 rail tour. Who knows, I've never seen it as AI, so... No way, I just called it! I said we might even see the 103 and then 10 seconds later it appears out of thin air. What? I've never been that lucky before. That is absolutely insane. And trust me, I did not look that up beforehand. That is bananas. How did I just get that luck? I managed to get a month when it would go by. I managed to get the correct service for when it would go by, and I managed to call it to within like 5 seconds. What are the odds of that? I've just won the Train Sim World lottery. I've never done that before to that degree of accuracy. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Like, how? How did I do that? That is nuts. Okay. That's the BR103 rail tour, which also requires the Mittelbahn Rheingold coaches. And it only runs during certain months of the year, and I just happened to luck out and get the correct service for when it would go by. And I managed to call it to within like 5 seconds. That is just... wow! That is... I've never done anything like that before. That is insane. That's probably going to be a YouTube short. That is insane. I have never done anything like that before. I've never seen anyone do that before. There's another Ice 1, presumably stuck behind the 103 rail tool. Since I redid the thermal paste on my computer, the game is performing so much better than it used to. Wind turbines over there on the right, spinning lazily in the breeze. I wonder if they actually change the speed at which they rotate depending on the wind speed. That'd be cool. I don't think that's a thing, but that'd be cool if that was a thing. So we've done 10 kilometers in 4 minutes. I think we might make it on time. We'll see. Stunned that I managed to call it. Like, I say we might see the 103 rail tour today, and then it shows up 5 seconds later. Like, how did I do that? Like, I must have... Do I have precognition? Probably not. I'm just yanking everyone's chain, but that is an absurd level of luck that I just pulled. How did I get that lucky? I managed to get the correct service, correct time of year, and then called it to within 5 seconds of it passing by. It's just insane. How did I do that? That's just nuts. which is excellent. Another thing I should mention about the Liberec to Stara-Paca route that we're getting is it seems to be incredibly well optimized despite the amount of foliage there is. Like, it seems to stutter much less than your average TSW route. I'm still stunned. Like, how did I get it to that level of accuracy? Like, how did I call it out to that level of accuracy? I'm just that good. No, I'm not that good. I just absolutely lucked out and had an absurd amount of luck, but yeah. 25 kilometers to go. We've done 5 kilometers in 3.5 minutes, so I think we'll get there in time. It'll be a bit close, but I think we will get there in time. Excuse me. We have 12 minutes to do 23 kilometers. It's actually looking a bit dicey if we can get there in time, but if we're late, as I said, it's Deutsche Bahn. If we're late, it's just, yeah. Okay, the train just lit up as if it was daytime for no reason. Oh wow, and the fog's come back. Okay, that's interesting. We've gone down to like, whoa, okay, the track slipperiness has come back. Oh boy. I'd much rather lose speed than have it wheel slipping all over the place. Keep the sander on for now. Actually, no, I need to bring it back. It's crazy how we went from basically clear skies to dense fog. That's the cool part of the live weather mod. When you go through tunnels, it changes the weather to accurately adjust, to accurately reflect real life. Passing a container train on the left there. That won't be going until nighttime. This route doesn't support freight until after nightfall. Got 10 minutes to do 16 kilometers. Oh, wow. Okay, we're still wheel slipping. My word. It's crazy how the fog is so dense. Stop, wheel slip. No. Stop it. Remember, since we are being LZB controlled, we don't have to worry about when to slow down, because the train does it for us. Just our first stop. Hopefully we don't have to make the stop at Fulda in the fog. Hopefully the weather will clear out a bit. Yeah, I think we'll make it with enough time to spare. I think we've made it up, which is very nice. Oh, hello, we have a red signal ahead. No, not to worry, the train will handle that for us. Yep, there we go, the red G indicator has come on. Come on, buddy. Wonder if our... No, we're good, all the way to Fulda. Let's see, do we have anyone in our platform? No, that's good. Yeah. So it looks as though we do have a 100km/h limit coming into Fulda. There we go. Train is starting to slow down. Brakes are coming on. All I'm having to do is monitor. I don't have to worry. Yay! The weather's cleared up. A lovely jubbly. No more thick fog. We're actually slowing down significantly faster than the LZB system wants us to. Very good. There's a 100 signal. You can take trains on here that aren't equipped with LZB systems, like the 103, but yeah, you do have to be definitely more careful. I definitely wouldn't have left the braking this late, but there you go. Easy does it. 3km to go. Will you slow down in time for the platform? That's what I want to know. Okay, let's just assume it's not and start preemptively braking ourselves. Notch 2 on the brakes. There's another 185 off to the left with a mixed freight train. Very nice. You see the hopper wagons there, which are like the ones with the bridges over them. We're actually getting those in the Liberec to Starapaka route, but the Czech version, unbranded Czech versions with some like texture improvements, which is very nice indeed. There's some BR642s off to the right there from Rheintalbahn. Alright, easy does it. Oh wow, we really did leave braking late. We are 4 minutes early though by Deutsche Bahn standards. That is very nice indeed. Easy does it. Let's get, like, Notch 1B going. Talent 2 on the left there. The Talent 2 is included with the route, but you can't drive it. Alright, that's the train letting us know that we have to be under 30 kilometers an hour when we enter a platform area. Well, actually no, sorry. My bad. It actually reminds the drivers to open the door once we stop. Alright, let's give it a tad of extra throttle. I do like all the static stock that's scattered through like the little yards here. Those used to be empty with the original timetable. Alright, arriving 3 minutes early. Wow. We are so good. We can Deutsche Bahn better than actual Deutsche. We can do Deutsche Bahn stuff better than Deutsche Bahn themselves. Okay, wow, okay, we are going to overshoot our stop marker a bit, but it's all good. On to the brakes. Bit of a late stop, but we're good. Alright. AFB will keep some of the brakes on. Oh wow, we're here for the next 4.5 minutes. Phew! Oh, have to set it to neutral if I don't want safeties to go off. I think? Oh, I think it's because we have AFB on. Oh, we can't get out the train. That's annoying without the safety systems applying the emergency brakes, so yeah. Couldn't really show you in the fog at Kassel, so yeah, here we are. It's 101056. We've got today just a bog standard 101, no frills, no cool liveries, and we have some BPM DZF, or I think coaches. Hamburg Altona, Fulda, Berchtesgaden. That's one of the things that weren't included on the original coaches, like this dot matrix screen. I do like the weathering on them too. They look in pretty reasonably good condition, I must say. They do look very nice indeed. Oh, that's some pillars. Sorry, had to sneeze. Yeah. We do have a long train today. Normally it's like 250, 260 meters. This one's 310. And it doesn't even have a Sturwagen cab car at the end. It's just a rake of coaches with no cab car. Can I open these? I can open these. Very nice. So I could make my... I presume I could make my own formation if I wanted to. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, looks as though we do... Yeah, so these are the Habens wagons. So we're getting a... So yeah, it's remove the ones in Liberec to Starapaka won't have any rail line branding and will be slightly different in terms of color, but yeah, basically it. Ooh, hello. You don't see those too often. Pair of Railpool Vectrons. Very cool. I do like those. Very nice pieces of kit. Yeah. I do like the Railpool livery. It's a nice change for the always present DB Red. Where are you going? Nicht einsteigen. Okay. You're not yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're out of service. So yeah, I should also mention that this route that goes off to the bottom down here is the Kinzigtalbahn route, Frankfurt to Fulda. That's also available as a route in Train Sim World. That was the Train Sim World 5 core route, German core route, I believe. It's not particularly good, and the performance on it is pretty atrocious, so yeah. Wait a minute, do we have Virtual Conductor on? We do not. Bam. I forgot to enable that earlier. Virtual Conduct, which means we do have to shut the doors in order for it to enable itself. Virtual Conductor basically forces the Train Sim World system to, like, randomly open doors. Well, only open doors if there are passengers getting in. And it also has a little HUD element as well, which isn't appear... Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. That's working now. Okay, we do have 1 minute to go. So yeah. Forgot to enable that earlier because I forgot this is a you know, I just reset the computer, my computer, so that wasn't on. Oh, hello, MLC 185 is a Habens rake, absolutely storming through. Yeah, Normally I don't get excited for habits because they're literally everywhere, but that's a reminder that we're getting Liberec to Starapaka soon. And my goodness, I had no interest or knowledge of Czech railways at all before that route was announced, and now I'm completely sold and it looks amazing. Right, shut the doors. Oh, I probably shouldn't have used the keyboard shortcut. Alright, departing slightly early. We have to go full throttle in order to overcome the train's holding brake. Even in wet conditions, you have to hold it in maximum throttle to like 5 kilometers an hour, and then you can put it down. Next and final stop, Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof in 85 kilometers. Kassel to Wurzburg, I should also mention, remains the longest route in the game as far as I'm aware. Maybe Leipzig-Dresden is longer in terms of total route length, but from end to end, Kassel to Wurzburg is definitely the longest. Hopefully we won't have any more heavy fog on the way down. Right, here we go. There's the Talent 2 from earlier doing a bit of a head shunt. Sorry I had to pause, but just making sure that my audio stuff's running correctly. There's some TADGS wagons, which are slightly older. Very nice wagons. What are my favorite German freight wagons? Right now, I'd probably have to say, the SGMMRSS wagons, which are the container intermodal ones. Oh, hello, weather changed. I know the live weather transitions are a bit abrupt, but it's much better than having the stock dynamic weather that doesn't work properly. Anyway, but yeah, I think my favorites will be the T1300E wagons that we're getting with the Expert 145, because the DHL yellow is not something we've seen, with German freight wagons before. Missing overhead catenary. Did you see the overhead wires were missing over that short section? That needs to be fixed. I doubt it will, but it needs to be. Up to 200 once again in a minute. There comes in the northbound line of the Kinzigtalbahn, I think, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, we're currently at 140. Weather's definitely getting a bit more foggy. I think I do need to do some settings changes on the live weather, but it is what it is. Maximum speed. So yeah, the two outside lines are going onto the Kinzigtalbahn, while we are taking the two central lines up toward, down toward Wurzburg. So yeah. There goes the Kinzigtalbahn, off toward Frankfurt Main Hauptbahnhof, and we're heading toward Wurzburg. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna cover these 81 kilometers as fast as possible. Yeah, I think I do need to do a bit of an update to the live weather, just to do a bit of calibration to it, since it seems to be changing a lot more often than I want it to, but hey ho, it is what it is. Oh, that's the photo mode. I just hit the wrong button. There we go. I was meaning to hit the horn, but instead of space, I hit shift space out of habit and turned it onto the photo mode. Whoops. Alright, so we're supposed to get to Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof by 11:21. It is currently 10:47 or thereabouts. So, if we get up to 200 kilometers an hour quickly, we should be able to get there ASAP. Yeah, I definitely do need to do a bit of a weather change, a bit of a change to the old live weather, but hey-ho, right now it's doing its job. It just has a bit abrupt transitions. There we go, 200. Oh yeah. Bit of a stutter there, but we're good. My computer's been handling this basically flawlessly. We're still running at 57 frames a second. Before the thermal paste replacement, it'd been running at 30 by now. Oh, 101 kilometers already? Oh yeah. It's because I'm on an older account. I'm really looking forward to Niemanet's to Starapaka, especially since I already have a decent amount of experience with the Czech stuff in rail simulators, since I have the Class 163 Pershing Locomotive in SimRail. Mind you, that's only usable in Poland, but, ice one, but I have been absolutely enjoying the heck out of the 163, and if we could get the Pershing, and yeah, I know the 163 is called the Pershing because it's so fast it was nicknamed after a missile system, which is pretty funny, but I am really I would love to see Vector Simulations try their hand at it. Okay, wow, that was an abrupt transition. Yeah, I really do need to calibrate the live weather. Anyway, I really do hope that we eventually get a Series 163 in Train Sim World, complete with preferably a route somewhere around Prague. That would be a lot of fun, with a lot of commuter traffic as well. Something metro themed would be pretty cool. But yeah, I think my only problem with Liberec to Starapaka is the lack of a timetable, but it is understandable. There are too many services that you can do, unfortunately. But since it's a single track line, the lack of services is understandable, since run any more trains and you would just be stuck interminably at loops to try and wait for other trains to come through. Yeah. So, what's even more astounding about the developers behind Liberec to Starapaka is they've created this absolute masterpiece of a route despite having no previous experience in Unreal Engine. The main chap behind Vector Simulations, Dominic, who's actually from, I believe all the developers are from the Czech Republic, but Dominic himself made a bunch of the Czech stuff for Train Simulator Classic back in the day, but that experience didn't really transfer over to Train Sim World simply because it's Unreal Engine. It's a completely different rendering engine from Train Sim Classics 1. So, yeah, basically Dominic and the rest of the team at Vector had to learn Unreal Engine basically from scratch, and then they spent 2 years creating the absolute masterpiece of a route releasing on March 10th. And I must say, like, hats off to the team. Like, the level of detail that they've been able to put in and push the boundaries of the game, like, it's just insane. It is also, frankly, speaking of insanity, it's also insane how I managed to call the BR103 rail tour to within 5 seconds of it actually passing by, and I swear, I don't think I saw it before it passed by. Alright, we have half an hour to go, 64 kilometers. be under LZB all the way to around here. After that, we have to take manual control because, yeah, the end of the LZB zone is that is the end of the Hamburg to Wurzburg. No, Hanover to Wurzburg, sorry, high-speed line. So after Wurzburg, you go back onto the conventional trains on this line, go back onto the old tracks. Since we don't have a Sturwagen, got the number in. We've got the power supply coming into the coaches, and I believe we've got everything done here. Virtual conductor is on. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. All right, let's get you back onto timetable. Just doing a quick check just to make sure I'm not missing anything vital. I do love how in cold conditions under a certain temperature, the windows frost up if you don't have the window heating on. That is such a cool touch. Like, wow. So we've got a little loop here. How's the performance? 52, 53 frames? Absolutely decent. Absolutely decent. Here. I do love how both the coaches and the 101 have suspension, but since the 101 is understandably a lot heavier since it has all the electrical gubbins, it doesn't move around as much. It's much more planted than the Sturwagen, which moves around a lot more since it doesn't have any of those electrical gubbins. I do love the attention to detail. Don't seem to be having any more wheel slip. I forgot the live weather mod works. Like if it's like high humidity or foggy or rainy, it makes the tracks wet, so that's why we're having all the wheel slip. But in normal conditions, it doesn't have that. Shunter bar with the auxiliary traction control in TSW. Like, I've never seen anyone use that little shunter thing on the side. I certainly never have. I've just used the main cab. But does anyone actually use that? Please do let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to know. And bridge under 50 kilometers to go, which means quarter of an hour if we can maintain the speed. That's crazy to think that we can do 50 kilometers in half an hour, in 15 minutes. Wow. Excuse me, viewers. There's the classic line heading down to Wurzburg on the right-hand side there, which we can see stuff on. I believe there are AI trains that make their way up and down. And speaking of which, there's a BR185 with a intermodal train. Very nice. On the classic line, that's so cool. Because you're going at such high speed, it is very hard to see stuff on trains on the classic line simply because you're going at absurd speeds. There is actually a station down here in Bergson where you can like train spot from a bridge, like both the high speed and classic lines, if you're interested. Oh, hello, we do have a red signal. Is there a train in front of us? Oh, no, that's not it. Let me see. There's nothing ahead. I don't know why there's a red signal though. It's just... There probably is a train in front of us, and that's why it's going, so let's see. Freight train, and then there's just nothing. Like, I don't know, why is it... Is this a broken signal? We'll see. Please don't let this be a broken signal. Let the LZB system take the strain. We don't have to break ourselves except at stations. Yellow signal. Normally I'd have to acknowledge that, but since we're in LZB, we don't have to worry. Maybe we're waiting for another service to overtake us from the north? I don't know. Anyway, we're coming into Bergson, like, loop area? I wonder if we're waiting for another... Maybe there's another train behind us that needs to overtake. There's that's a freight train, but that certainly won't go in front of us. Let's see. Is there anything? I don't see anything. Try and contact signaler. Wait for signal to change. Guess I'll just have to wait and see. Another intermodal train waiting in the siding there. 22:16, that train is leaving. It's got another 11 hours. 11 hours and 11 and a quarter hours until that train goes. Oh, and the signal just changed to green for no reason. So, why was it red? That's very odd. Must be a bug. MRC 185, and they actually put the pantograph. The AI put its pantograph down. That's very cool. So yeah, we must be stuck behind something. Maybe probably just been unobservant and not picked it up. Come on, where are you? It's probably... Oops. Let's see. Come on, where are you, bud? Can't have missed it. Oh, hello, Light Loco. What are you? Bergson to Kornvestheim. You are a... Okay, it's a 101 light locomotive that unfortunately is stuck at 140 kilometers an hour, so we are stuck behind this guy all the way to Wurzburg. Ah, that is very annoying. That is very annoying indeed. But at least we got slowed down so much we can actually get up to speed now. We can actually get some back up to speed now before catching him up again. Will he pull into the loop? That's what I'm wondering. Will he pull into the loop? Where are you going? 111 kilometers an hour. He's only going 111 out of 140. So there aren't any more loops until here. Who knows? He might pull over. Oh boy. Slow down. I do not want to be stuck behind this guy all the way to Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof. That would take ages. Hopefully he gets looped at that junction. But, yeah. If he's not, we're stuck behind him for the next 37 kilometers, and that's never good. Oh yeah, this is the tunnel where the evacuation... So yeah, there's a Ice 3 that gets stuck on this track right here. And you have to fire up a 101 from cold and dark and rescue the passengers. Because, yeah, the train's just done for. And that's a very tough scenario to get right. It's one of the few scenarios that are 5 out of 5 difficulty. Like, one of the very, very few in the game that are 5 out of 5 difficulty. And trust me, you have to get the train stopped to within a meter, or it fails you. If you go beyond, like, even a meter beyond the objective that the game sets, it fails you. And you have to go back to the start, which is just insane. Is that? No, it's not. There is one point where you go over the Mein Spessart Bahn, which is another TSW route, but truly ancient one from like 2018. Only good for layers nowadays. Scenery is pretty appalling. I would love to see for that. I'd love for Mein Spessart to get a remaster. That'd be excellent. But a remaster that brings everything up to TSW6 standards, not a remaster like in Köln to Aachen's remaster, which was more of a visual upgrade than a true remaster. A true remaster would have been Great Western Express. Like, bringing all the stock up to Train Sim World 6 standards, bringing the route up to TSW6 standards, complete foliage and scenery overhaul, and adding some new features that you've never seen before, like the heat haze from the exhausts and the rail singing. That was a true new feature. Alright, slow down, buddy. Okay, that's the Mein Spessart Bahn. That's Gemünden off that direction, and Aschaffenburg off that direction. There's no junction between the two lines. It's not as if you can go between them, but... Alright. 34 kilometers to go. Let's actually check on the line loco, see if he's shifted. There he is. He's going 111 still. He's not even doing 140. Wait a minute, let's see. Does he have the green to go into... It's hard, it can't tell at this point, if I'm being honest. Shut off the Sifa. It's very annoying how we're stuck behind this guy. He's doing just about half our top speed. It's very annoying. On the other hand, game's performing pretty well. It's like 49, 50 frames a second. Shut that up. Scroll along the map. Are you getting shunted? I don't see him. I don't see him. Where is he? So if we go to the point... There he is. Is he slowing down? No, he's just going the same speed. Yeah, it's impossible to know at this point. Unfortunately... Check on him again. Where are you, buddy? Through the junction yet? No. Where are you? There he is. There you are. Yeah, it's moving so slowly, it's taking a while just to get to the junction. getting pretty close to that signal. Let's just check on him again. Yeah, there he is. I don't know why I'd check on him so often. It's going to be a bit before he gets even close to the loop. And if he... So yeah, it's like the crucial decision. Does he get looped and we continue on to Wurzburg? Or does he not get looped and we're stuck behind him for the rest of the trip? Alright, come on. Please get looped. He's almost there. Just keep watching him to see if it doesn't get us. Please get looped. It's hard to tell. It's impossible to tell, sorry, that if he's getting looped or not. Oops. There we go. Oh, we've got the green. Let's see. I'm spending a lot of my time in the minimap, but... Oh yeah, he's slowing down for the 100 into the loop. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely slowing down. Come on, please. Please, 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 please get looped. Please get looped. Yes! Oh, thank goodness. Right, we're clear all the way to Wurzburg. Maximum speed. Oh, that's so good that he got looped. Getting stuck behind him for the rest of the trip would have been a nightmare. That's one of like the few like loco runs on this route. There are a couple, and you have to actually manually isolate the LZB system because yeah, you can't run a light loco in LZB. You could in the game, but yeah, if you want to do it prototypically, you have to isolate the LZB. How's performance? 47 frames, so not the best, but maybe it's not as good as before, but for a run this long, decent. Just have to do 27 more kilometers and we're home and dry. I rarely do the full route runs in the 101. I prefer doing the Fulda to Kassel runs because those are a decent length. Anything longer than that, and it takes a while. Right, maximum oomph, please. Alright, coming up on the loop, where the 101 is parked. The light loco 101 that was ahead of us is parked. Alright. Wonder if it's one of the special livery ones. One of the two special livery ones. I doubt it. I don't think they can appear as AI. But we'll see. Since we already had insane luck with the 103 rail tour, I'm hoping my luck holds. I doubt it, but yeah. Wait a minute. You're not a 101. You're a 185. Okay, so it couldn't have been one of the special livery ones anyway. That's why he was going so slowly. It's a 185, not a 101. Alright, and we're almost back to top speed, which is excellent. With 10 minutes to do 23 kilometers. Okay, that's going to be interesting. limited to 200 kilometers an hour by the locomotive, so those don't really apply to me. If I was in an ICE 1 or an ICE 3 or an ICE T, those would certainly apply to me. Decent performance. I don't know why I'm so paranoid about that. I love how our train is so long that it can be in two separate tunnels simultaneously. 10 kilometers to go. We will have to release the LZB at some point. We will come out of LZB. Oh, pantograph flash. Very cool. To do 6 kilometers. I'm sure we'll be able to do it. There's a freight yard down there. Some wagons in it. Ooh, and a 185, the ZACNS freight train. Speed reduction coming up. The G indicator is lit up. It's hard to believe that a year ago I didn't even know how to operate PZB. That is crazy. Speed coming down. We have an 80 limit coming into Wurzburg, Hauptbahnhof, platform 5. Speed coming down. Oh, hello. Alright, we gotta put you off. AFB off. Yeah, I know, AFB is off. So we gotta wait until the LZB system is done before re-engaging the AFB. Coming out of the tunnel. Let's just keep the speed. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. There we go. Acknowledge that. It's, yeah, AFB. 80 kilometers an hour. There we go. Let's actually get it down to like 40. That's a 425 on the right there from Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr. That's another piece of being acknowledged. Haven't had to do that all day. put it to like 50% just to maintain speed. We will have a 500 hertz magnet come into effect at Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof just before the red signal. And when that red indicator appears, I'll have to slow down to within, what is it? It's 20 kilometers an hour, or the system will penalize me, which of course I don't want to happen. Let's actually put it all the way up to 80, and let's just do braking ourselves. Don't really want to let the AFB do it. Alright. Do have 1 minute to get into the platform. A couple of freight trains over there. How's performance? 27 frames? With all this stock, that's decent. The game doesn't really like it when there's a ton of stock and assets loaded. Oh, hello! BR146 coming in from maybe Aschaffenburg. I don't know. Absolutely zooming into the platform. My goodness. Alright, here we are. Yep, there's the 500 hertz, so we are good. Just gotta stay at the speed all for the next 400 meters. So I suspect we'll be late, but that doesn't matter since we're Deutsche Bahn. We're always late. If you go even like 1.1 kilometers an hour over the 500 hertz limit, it will penalize you, and it will... Yeah. Oh wow, that cab car had it both its headlights and its taillights on going backward. Lovely. That's a bug. It should just have its taillights on. Wow, there's a lot of stuff coming in and out. My word. No wonder the game's running pretty slowly with all this stock going in and out. There's a 425 coming in. This station's absolutely hopping. Down comes the speed. We do have that signal on the right on the platform is ours, so we do have to be careful. Just make sure we keep our speed here. We're a minute late, doesn't matter. Try to get it within 10 meters. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. Full service, please. Quick! Before we pass the signal. Good, there we go. There we go! Welcome to Wurzburg Hauptbahnhof. This train will then continue on its way out to Berchtesgaden and Oberstdorf. Presume somewhere the train will split, but... yeah. Just gotta wait for them passengers to disembark. Virtual conductor is doing its thing. Just opened the doors at the front of the train for the passengers to get off, as per real life. Which is a very nice feature. Alright. There we go. So yeah, we lost 585 points for speeding, but we did get a lot of points. And the only reason we had speeding points is due to just wheel slip. But we were basically staying at line speed for the whole time, apart from this bit where we were following that light locomotive. So yeah, we got a platinum medal. That'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.